7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
From Cafeteria Film Studios in Little Havana, Phresh presents Que Hola, where we talk to various movers and hustlers who are popping off and succeeding in the 305 and at the same time influencing the culture. I'm your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street.
Yo, what's Gucci, my people? I hope y'all enjoying yourselves at whatever time of the day you're listening to this. In this week's episode, we sat down with the multi-talented radio personality, Lucy Lopez, straight out of Dade County, Miami. You know what it is. We had to have her on the show. Thank you so much for coming through, Lucy. Please subscribe to the podcast and share, subscribe and share, all right? So without any further ado, I just want to jump into this because it was a dope one. Let's get into this, all right? Listo. All right. So we are in the mix. Another episode of the Bola Podcast. Was Gucci, my people. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves at whatever time of the day you listening to this. It's your boy D. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. And in the studio, special guest, Mrs. Needs No Introduction, Miss 305, Miss Lucy Lopez. What's Gucci?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for spending your time with the Bola Podcast.
Your Bola Podcast is popping.
Is it now?
Yeah, it is.
I wasn't aware of that. Shit, thanks for letting me know.
You know what's up.
No,
Yeah.
I do not know.
Yeah, it's popular. It's what's happening right now. People
Is it?
talk about it. Yeah, there's a few podcasts out there that catch other people's attention, and this
Okay.
is one of those podcasts.
That's awesome. That's
There's there's two other, but this is a good one.
wow,
You should
man.
know that. Yeah.
That is a privilege to hear that. Like,
And especially being a local podcast, it must be really hard to distinguish yourself from others, and you're doing like a really good job at it. So congratulations to you, D.
thank you. That's what's up, man. I did not expect that. I
Well-
did not expect to walking into like all that ovation. That's like
Yeah.
mad weird and different. I'm not.
Why?
I don't know. I take that weird. How
Tell
do you
me
take
why.
ovation? All right. So like you've been
Not
doing
very
this.
well.
All right. So I'm
Yeah.
like.
But that's the artist. Like you don't think you're good enough. You don't deserve the accolades. You work too hard. You're in it too much to see it from an outside perspective. So
Yeah. It's all good. I mean,
you know.
when you're normally like doing your artwork or
Yeah.
whatever it is that you're doing,
Yeah, whatever creative
your
lane you're
expression.
in. Yeah.
You like when you do it for love and stuff like that, it's hard for you to accept that you're good at it.
Right.
Because your love for it is so much greater than what you think what you're doing is
You're your worst enemy.
yeah, basically.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
If you feel that you're gonna ever take a shot at me and it's gonna hurt my feelings, think again, asshole.
Yeah.
I am my worst critic.
Yeah.
I am horrible. I
Yeah.
am the meanest person ever. And on top of that, I'm a woman. And
Yeah.
we already have that instilled in our DNA where we're like our worst enemy. We critique our bodies constantly. We're not good looking enough. I'm not thin enough. My hips are too big. My ass doesn't fit in these jeans. I'm not a good mother. I'm not a good girlfriend. I could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
On top of that,
On top of all of that.
I'm a personality on a radio station.
Okay.
So whatever anybody throws at me it's like child's play. There's nothing like I've already said it to myself 300 times. And guess what? All of it is not true.
That's the biggest point. Like,
So I think that's what's difficult for you to accept the fact that, yeah, you've got one of the hottest podcasts in the 305.
damn, dog. That's crazy that you say that. That's insane. Legit, that like blows my fucking head on. Like, you're gonna front, dog.
It's good. It's good.
Thank you,
You
thank
have a likability. You're like easy to talk to. I see your interviews.
Thank you.
Stupid.
Thank you. You are, I mean, you are the one who pioneered that primarily here in South Florida on the radio, your show 6 to 10.
Yeah.
How did you stumble into that? Like, what was the way that you started that?
I mean, there's a story to it.
Okay.
And most
Give me your
people
quick
are familiar.
synopsis.
I made a phone call into Power 96.
Okay.
And the guys were making fun of like Hialeah girls. And
Okay.
I'm pretty quick on my feet, and I just called Power 96, and I'm like, why would you make fun of the people who literally pay your light bill?
Mm-hmm.
And
Was this like Cox on the radio back then?
no, it was some guys who were filling in for the actual night show.
Oh, okay.
And unbeknownst to me, the PD was in the room and he heard the whole thing. And he was like, I want to talk to her. And then they found out I was like, that I actually had a job and that I was, I just graduated Miami-Dade. I was working at Whammy on Miami. I was a writer. And they were like, oh, you kind of know. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a film major. I know what's up.
Yeah.
So one thing led to another and I made it onto Power 96's airwaves, which was really, really hard to do at the time.
Yeah.
Because one thing is to cater for the audience, but when the audience becomes the product, there's some corporations don't know how to handle that shit.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, well, but she sounds funny when she opens her mouth and she has a funny accent.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, this is the way we talk.
Yeah.
Like, I am literally from Hialeah. Like, this is the way we speak. And I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry.
It's hard, right? When you're in South Florida, you hear the accent all the time, so it becomes like second nature.
Right.
But when you step outside of these like hollowed grounds, and then you go to another city, and you even when you listen to yourself, you're like, yo, I sound like
such a ref.
Big time.
And I can say that because I'm a ref. But it's wild. It's crazy. Why is it so fucking hot in here?
Oh yeah.
We
keep it at a good temperature.
Yeah, can they stop?
No.
I think it's interesting. Like you step out, you hear yourself, and you're like, oh man, I do sound like that. Oh well. And for a while there, I remember being like caught up, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna sound like this forever.
Yeah.
And then I just embraced it.
Yes, that's what it is. Like you gotta lean into it.
Yeah.
You gotta lean in and just and take it on as your own. Like, this is me. Like, this South Florida.
And then when I realized it was upsetting people even more, and by upsetting people, I don't mean people outside of our area code.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about like locals. We're like, bro, get that chonga off the radio, bro. Bro, she sounds like a total chonga. Like, nobody can even stand her. And I'd be like,
yo,
y'all sound like me? Like, you're my twin. Open it, like, we all sound the same.
How hard is it to stop saying bro? Or does it?
It's okay. Okay, so here goes. When I really want to get my point across, I'll throw in a bro here and there.
Okay. So you use your bro sporadically. You know when to put your
strategically,
bro in.
sir, is when I use my bros.
Okay.
I know if it's going to get me something.
All right.
Like when someone maybe meets me for the first time and they're kind of expecting like the whole Lucy Lopez, you know what I mean? There is that part of me. The other part of me is I'm a mom and I'm a wife and,
regular person.
I watch, Wes Anderson films.
Okay.
But well, I'm stealing the poster.
You're not stealing shit.
I'm stealing everything from Nelson. So I think like there's that element of if somebody's like, oh my God, you're Lucy Lopez, I'm like, hey bro, nice to meet you. And they're like, oh my God.
She said bro.
And I do that for fun. I'm not dumb. It's fun. And I love to see people love it and have fun with it.
Yeah.
And if I can make you smile by saying bro, like, or literally, like, I think that's hysterical.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That you actually like strategically use. I'm just out here throwing bros and literally like nothing and shit.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? You're over here planning the day out.
Of course, I will plan the day out.
Throughout your bros. That's what's Gucci, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So the show, you guys do it for a good amount of time in the morning. You
4
wake
hours.
everybody up.
Yeah.
How you get yourself up though? Like, what do you do to get your like? You have to be like chippy and shit like that.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay,
I don't have
sorry.
to doing shit like that. I don't know. I just I wake up like at 3 a.m.
Lies. You wake up at 3 a.m?
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day. Monday through Friday, I wake up at 3 a.m.
Is that like, oh, I'm getting my life together type of shit, or is that like you just have sleep problems?
No. It's time to wake up and wake up Miami, and we got to see what's going on, and I want to check everything online. I want to read everything. I'll spend hours reading politics and not talk about it at all. I'm one of those crazy people.
Yeah.
I want to know everything that's happening in music. I want to know if anything broke overnight. I want to know who liked what. And those are things that motivate me. Like, I want to wake up and do that. But before that, I dedicate like 5 minutes. I thank God. I pray to God. I'm like, yo, God, please make today as easy as possible.
Yeah.
I kiss my kids.
What time you ride out the crib?
I leave home like around between 4 and 4:30. So I either get like no traffic or drunks. I usually get the drunks Thursday to Friday. Like that Thursday night
You
to
can
Friday
see who's drunk as fuck too, right?
It is absolutely terrifying. Every time I see these things that happen right off of the Palmetto and Miami Gardens, I'm like, yeah, they're all coming out of the office.
Fact.
Not the office where the other office or Tootsie's, and they're wrecked out of their brains.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of that. But you know, I wake up early. I have like a double shot on ice, and I'm good.
What's your like go-to publications to read?
So I get alerts from Vice, Billboard. I know Billboard is like nerdy, but for someone like me, like I just kind of want to know.
Do you pay for the membership on Billboard?
Of course not. I'm ghetto.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, damn, nah.
As an ex-boyfriend's membership, still has no idea that I'm using that shit. But yeah, like, you know, I Vice and Refinery 29 and Bustle for up to the minute, like women issues, stuff like that. And then like the regulars, and by regulars, I mean like the TMZ. I'll go on Lifestyle Miami because I have a really good grasp on like local chisme is what I call it. Yeah. And by chisme, I mean like the ratchet videos or whatever the case may be.
That's local chisme. Like anything in
Only
Miami
in
local.
Dade, stuff
ratchet.
like that. Only Hialeah. Like I'll see what they're doing, what's bubbling on their end. But it's not like that's the Bible for me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll read all of that and then I just get like a feeling. It's kind of like, I call it like my bruja senses.
Okay.
And what I like to do is kind of just not, like if there's a story on Beyonce, I'm going to pseudo make fun of it without upsetting her beehive, but making you want to care about it.
Okay. So you're crafting your copy in the morning while you're reading all these publications.
That's the only thing I do from 3 to about 6:30 in the morning. Oh, okay. While I'm driving, I go through like the list of podcasts that I haven't really been able to like listen to fully. And I'm like, oh, I want to hear, you know, like for example, I'm like right now I'm listening to just currently just off like the top of my head, I'm listening like Dax Jefford is interviewing Anna Faris. No, not Anna Faris. What's this girl's name that's married to Dave Franco? And she's the star of Glow. Anyway, some white girl. And I mean that in the most respectful way too. But and this is A-Ho Sniffs Glue.
Yeah, that's my dog. My homie.
Him.
Yeah, I mean
it's more 305.
The Dr. Dabber, A-Ho Sniffs Glue 305. It's my homie G.
I'll listen to something like that. And most of it is for character development. Like there might be something that I heard her say earlier that I think will help me develop like a character like her for the radio.
And you're doing all this in the morning for
Most
each day.
So most of it.
Okay.
But for the most part, my show ends at 10 and then I usually leave the radio station like at 3 in the afternoon. And I do that because I'm in pre-production, I'm writing bits, I'm creating strategies, stuff like that.
Yeah, what happens, that's what I was going to get to. Like, what happens if something breaks after you're off the air, but it's something huge, like the...
Like break what?
Like, all right, like the Kobe Bryant story, that broke like around, I remember I was having brunch. It was probably like 11 or 12 or something like that. I'm not sure if it was a weekend, though. So
it was a weekend. I think it was a Saturday or something.
Okay.
So when stories like that break, fortunately, I have time to really delve into it. And I read a lot about him. And I catch up on what I thought I knew about him and what I didn't know about him. And I get my facts really straight. The last thing you want to do is go on air on a Monday morning and not have your facts straight on something so horrible. You know, I think the closest I got to that was breaking that Michael Jackson died and having my boss run into the studio and be like, what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah.
Are you fucking crazy? I'm like, Michael Jackson died. Who said it? TMZ. They are not a source.
Yeah.
You fucking jocks. And I'm like, no, it's a source. Sorry, you're an old man and don't get it, but TMZ is a source.
Yeah.
Luckily, that's not the case now. My director just turned 30 years old. So,
hey, that's
yeah,
what's up.
absolutely. So he understands that if I source TMZ or I source, Lifestyle Miami, it's viable for who we're talking to. And we kind of know what's going on. You know what I mean? Or Miami.com, I like to source a lot for like local stories. They're really good on checking their facts. But,
And oftentimes you guys have interviews on your show.
Yeah.
and you're primarily conducting the interview.
Sure, it's a shared responsibility with me and Zog. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you prepare yourself to like do that with people?
It really depends because sometimes you get superstar,
Okay.
and then you get people who think they're superstars.
Okay.
And then you get someone who you're not expecting to get a lot from, but you get enough from.
What do you mean
So,
by that? Like, you don't think they're gonna talk or something?
You're like, this guy came on a bad one, bro.
Oh, okay.
Está mal.
Yeah, he just got
Moño
came out of
virao.
Tootsies.
Exactly. Yeah, and we do get a lot of that. We do
Yeah.
get a lot of artists who show up here who've never been to Miami, and now they have a radio tour of all the famous radio stations in South Florida, and they're looking at you, and you're like, yeah, you just got a taste of that Bolivian gold. You know what the fuck to do with your life right now. And those are moments that I love.
Yeah.
It's awesome because
like a keg powder, right? You could like basically spark off different.
Yes. And you're just sitting there like, oh, okay, well, let me see how they're going to feel if I ask them this. Yeah. And how about that? And a lot of those interviews also, you know, you have somebody come in, 3 people before that person come in, and they're like, you only have 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Please don't ask him about this or who he's dating. And then that'll be one person that's like, you only have 5 minutes. Please don't ask them about their past record and what they did. And you're like, okay. And then, did you already get the lowdown on what you can ask and you can't ask?
That's what's up, dog. Yo, time out though. I wish I ever get famous as fuck to have 3 people say my shit for me, dog. That's what's up, bro.
And I'm looking at them, I'm like, And then they sit down, I go, so I heard I can't talk to you about anything. Especially about that time you fucked this girl in Miami. Yeah. And they're looking at you and like, don't worry, we're not going to go on the radio with that. So you get out of the way, you relax them, they're looking at you, and then you can kind of delve into topics or things that you thought you wanted to ask them, and they're more prone to give you more information than not. Yeah.
I feel you, man. That's cool. Like, being able to talk to these people. I mean, the vast majority of the people do come on the show. They have an agenda. They're trying to plug their whatever it might be, right?
Right. And you'd be really surprised. There's some artists like, you know, right now we have a big partnership with Miami Improv. Okay. So, I mean, as a writer, to me, there's nothing more beautiful than finding out from an artist like a Kevin Nealon or... you know, I got to speak.
That was a cool interview, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. When you speak to Kevin Nealon or you speak to a Bob Saget, and then they're telling you all these amazing stories, and you know, to talk to Kevin Nealon and for him to share with me his first time on the SNL stage. I'm a writer. That was I was just like, oh my god, I'm talking to Kevin Nealon. Holy shit, like the king of dry sarcasm. Yeah. And then you start self-reflecting, like, man, I remember when I heard him on Howard Stern and they had this conversation. Should I bring this up? Nah. And he's talking to me and I'm listening to everything he's saying, but I want to hold on to one little thing he might say to me so I could go back and hit him with that. You know what I mean? So I cockroach the interviews.
What do you mean cockroach?
It's like a cockroach. Like, you ever been like in a room, a really nice room, and there's like a cockroach, but like the cockroach, like you go to catch it and it scurries over there and then it scurries over here. That's how my brain is working while I'm interviewing someone. Where it just doesn't focus. I'm focused on what they're saying and I hear everything they're saying, but I'm trying to find that one moment that he or she can give me that is different from everybody else that I've spoken to that week.
That's crazy. That's I mean, it's like playing
it's like a game.
It's like a big ass juggling game, right?
So much fun. It's such a high. I even had a conversation with this with my therapist because I find myself sometimes I keep going and going and going and going. And it's not that I like to talk. I'm talking now because I'm on a podcast and that's what you're supposed to. Right. But like on a real, like I just like to be quiet and I like to observe and I like to write. And eventually people that I meet every day, like they inspire me for characters, for maybe a line that I'll say, you know. Yeah. Like we had a whole conversation about Bro. About 2 seasons ago, I wrote like a whole bit where this character that I write called Chula, she only shows up during Ultra, and Chula had to explain to her mom why. Her mom asked her, why do you say bro so much? She was like, first of all, there's many different ways you can use the word bro. Yeah. And she goes into explaining, like, you know, when I get mad, I can say bro. Or when I see my ex-boyfriend, I wasn't expecting to see him, I go, bro. Yeah. And so Do you see how ridiculous
Yeah.
that shit is? But I keep a file.
So you have it stashed in your head.
Constantly. Constantly.
So that's the true Lucy Lopez. In the back, just straight grinding, like writing.
I don't
thinking
stop.
of different bits and things like that.
I don't fucking stop.
All right. So who inspired you? How'd you start it off? Like in high school? Were you like in a thespian program, or was it?
No.
You didn't have thespian class or
No.
any electives or not?
No.
I mean, me neither. I did band and shit, but I played football too.
No, I took one drama class at Palm Springs Middle School, and after that one class, like they canceled arts in our middle school. And then I went.
What high school you go to?
I went to Pace High School.
Pace. Okay, I know that's that.
And my mom was just worried that I was gonna get kicked out all the time, and so she was just you better get those grades. You better get those grades. So, I went to this school called Barnes and Noble, where
I'm about to say, where that's at, dog? Which one? The one in
like
Coral
that?
Gables?
No, the one
that's
the
a
one
fancy
off
one.
of the one off of Kendall Drive. I would actually drive out there or make my cousin Eli like take me out there, and I'm like, come on, I gotta go get some books.
From Hialeah to
Hialeah to yeah, there were some fucking Barnes and Nobles in Hialeah.
Yeah. That was
So-
Pepe's books.
Yeah, or there's also one on Pines. So whichever one was closest, we would we would either go to that one or the one in Kendall. And that's where I learned about writing.
Okay.
So I picked up like beatnik books. I picked up screenwriting books, but not necessarily like how to write for TV or film.
Mm-hmm.
I would just pick up like scripts. Like I memorized Reservoir Dogs. I memorized Pulp Fiction. I memorized
movie, by the
True
way.
Romance. Anything written by Quentin Tarantino,
Yeah.
I memorized. And then, I found out like, oh, they have like scripts about like bits from SNL. And I would just want to learn how they wrote them and how they shot them and how they got to that point. And then I deleted how to shoot it and what it would look like. And then I found out that was called theater of the mind. So around that time, I was going to Miami-Dade College. And let's face it, when you end up at that time, when I was going to Miami-Dade College, I was like, yo, what do I need to do? Like, what do I need to study here to? And everybody's like, I don't fucking know. I'm
Yeah.
here to be a cop.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I just want to be a nurse.
I just want to be a nurse
And I'd be like,
or
oh,
do real estate.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a dental hygienist and end up on The Bachelor tomorrow. I want to do something else in my life.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was like really, really tough. And then there was like a film program there.
Was this pre-YouTube?
Very
so you
much.
you kind of like did the DIY before YouTube was around.
Yeah, I know how to shoot on an 18 millimeter camera and pop that fucker out. And I know how to change film
That's cool.
in the dark.
That's throwback. I mean, like, because the thing is that nowadays,
Sure.
that's very like
Tell me
commonplace, right?
Yeah.
People doing DIY, learning self-taught because YouTube has opened up those avenues to people.
Before
to do
there
it.
was YouTube for me, it was Barnes and Nobles.
Exactly, but Barnes and Nobles, you know what that is. Tremendo trabajo, Pablo. And like,
Yeah.
you would have to go in there and spend hours and shit. Right now, I just type in how to, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So you
no,
were
I
actually
was like reading
Yeah.
books and
Reading
taking
books.
notes and watching films and studying how Martin Scorsese created the long shot and how he
blocking yeah.
and how he used the color red.
Yeah.
And I would watch Mean Streets over and over and over again. And I was obsessed with dialogue in Goodfellas, and I still am. And I think it's one of the most brilliantly written movies in the world. And those are things that I have constantly in my head. So when you hear all these bits on our show, when you hear Chula, when you hear me pretend I'm Beyonce,
You came up with that Valentine's?
yeah. When you hear Flanderpuss,
Yeah.
those are things that I've written that are just have been in my head and are little bits of everything. It's like a crazy collage of things up here. And there's everything from Otto von Schirach songs
Shout out Otto.
to Oscar G beats and a scene from Que Pasa USA. And somehow I've made it make sense on air without visuals for a very long time. And now I'm quietly introducing a visual to my characters, and it's big. I mean, I'm really looking forward to launching Chula again in March because she's gonna come with a visual, and we've already had like little moments where we can show what she looks like, but now it's like bigger. Now it's badder for me as a writer and as a director of this madness. I feel like, okay, this is gonna happen.
Have you ever attempted to like take any of your bits on stage, like as a comedian, open mic?
So I tried open mic.
Well, first of all, why'd you sigh so hard? Like if I mentioned some death shit, dog.
Because everybody asked me that shit, and I'm like,
my bad, shit. Skip next question.
no, because it's like fucking hot. I'm hot.
You're
I'm
like,
hot now. Fuck.
I said, did you ever do comedy? This motherfucker with this shit.
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because I want to do more.
Okay.
But my ass wakes up at 3:00 in the morning, and then they're like, "Can you, Lucy? We're wondering if you could do like a set like on a Sunday. Do you think you could show up on a Sunday?"
I see what you're saying.
And I'm like, you know what pays my bills? My pills. I wake up at 3:05 in the morning. That too, at 3:05 in the morning. Like I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I gotta pick and choose. I did a set in December for my birthday. I always do one thing that will completely scare the fuck out of me.
Okay.
And on my birthday, December 12th, I jumped on stage for the frat house. I opened up for my producer, Louis D.
Okay.
And
Louis D? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
yeah.
DJ Louis D?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No.
Wrong.
Fat Louis D.
Oh, okay.
And it was
Damn.
it was unbelievable. It was fucking amazing. I'm serious. It's like way too hot in here.
I mean, you're going to have to work through it, mama. This is
What
Dade County
happened?
heat right
What
here.
happened?
This side of the AC vent's not working, something like that. So
This
it's
is
all good.
unfair to me.
This is how you rumble, baby. This is
Fuck,
like you
man,
shoot,
don't
you
know I'm from West Hialeah?
Oh,
we
my
got
God.
AC there.
Super fancy. I thought you were like straight up Dade County, you know?
Not from East Hialeah. I'm from West Hialeah.
I'm from Ghouls, so I don't have a problem
Ooh,
with
I
none
had
of
a
this.
boyfriend from Ghouls.
Stop
He
lying.
was scary. He was so scary. It was like my favorite.
That's what you liked him?
Oh my God, of
The
course.
dangerous. That's
It
when
was
he was
like,
living on the
he
dangerous
was like,
side.
where are you? I was like, where are you from? He was like, Ghouls. I'm, you're the fun. You're so much fun.
I bet you ain't the one you brought to mom home, though.
I never brought boyfriends home to my mom. My dad's a Vietnam vet. He will straight
okay.
up choke your ass
Are
when
you
you walk
first
into
or
the
second
door.
generation?
Of Cuban?
Yeah, or
Second.
whatever. So you're second
Yeah.
generation Cuban.
Yeah.
Okay, like full Cuban. Both of your parents are Cuban.
Yes, both of my parents are Cuban. Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, second generation experience is a much different experience from first generation experience.
Why do you say that?
Because like people with second gen, I mean, what I tend to notice is that people second gen don't speak as much Spanish as first geners. Their second gen is their Spanish is very poor. Not necessarily all across the board. I'm just saying the vast majority of people that I've spoken to are second geners don't speak Spanish properly. Secondly, their like Latin roots have been slowly like diluted. You know what I'm saying? For some apparent, they don't have like abuelita in the household or something like that.
I found out my mom was my mom when I was 9.
Hey.
And it was like
So that's why you're a writer.
straight up like, so you're not my sister and that's not my
You're
brother.
not
Yeah,
my
that's
sister.
and that's not your boyfriend. Because I grew up calling my grandmother mama, my grandfather papa,
Yeah.
and my mom is Nena, my dad is Tony. I still call my parents by their first name.
Yeah.
I don't call them mommy and daddy. That was like, what?
Yeah.
That wasn't, yeah.
That's
Like,
crazy.
Yeah, and we lived in Hialeah, and my grandparents lived in an efficiency, and we hung out in their efficiency because the AC was cooler in there than it was in our house.
Yeah.
And I was allowed to jump on the sofa, not the one in the other side of the house. I was like, why are these people so uptight? Why is this lady Nena so uptight?
Did they have
She's so uptight.
plastic on the sofa?
Of course she did. It was velvet blue with plastic on it.
Oh, man.
The whole living room was blue with the blue rug and the blue, like this velvety drape. And we had a fake fireplace and we had blue wallpaper. It was just beautiful. Like now, looking back at it, I'm like, damn, that was nice.
Yeah. It's
But growing
crazy.
up, I was like, this is so embarrassing.
I mean, yo, back in the 80s, 90s, people's like interior decorating was wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go into some houses that have not been like changed up in 20 years. They still have like popcorn ceilings and shit that's like has the glitter in it.
I had popcorn ceiling with the glitter.
that's exactly. That's
in my living room,
right
in
now?
my bedroom.
You got that right now?
Not
though?
anymore.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Not anymore.
When
not
you find
anymore.
one of those cribs, it's like, damn, it's a relic.
A relic. Smell it.
Yes, it's like, man, a lot of coke was done in this room.
Horrible.
You know what I'm
Horrible.
saying?
And isn't it funny growing up in that era now as an adult? Like, you know, I have many aunts and uncles in my family.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like the 33rd grandkid on my mom's side, right? So, like, I remember when I moved out and like on my apartment, there was like a little glass table by the sofa, you know, and it was like all El Dorado furniture because where else?
Yeah.
And everything is like white. Like, I'm like, this is my place now, you know? And
Oh,
so I invite the family over. It's like a 1-bedroom, whatever, on the beach. Because, you know,
That's
you
what's
moving
up.
out of Hialeah.
Yeah.
Where you going? The beach.
The beach. You gotta go party.
Swerve. And then
Walk to your house.
my tia walks in. She sees that little table. She goes, wow, qué mesita buena para hacer cocaína. And I'm like,
Yo, tia.
all my coworkers straight up went,
Yo, you're
And I go,
shout out.
she's kidding. She's kidding.
Straight lies.
My tia's kidding. Tia, stop. She was like, eso no pasa nada. I'm like, what? And they still have that mentality. And it's 2020.
Nah, that's funny, dude.
No pasa. Eso
Do-
es
so-
normal. Eso es normal.
If when you do like your stand up, what more or less do you comprise it of? Is it just like a bunch of different characters, or do you bring in your family? Do you like all those experiences that you had? What is it that you like? What's your reservoir of this is the shit that I want to talk about?
I really like to remind people a little bit que no escupen tan pa arriba.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like I love my city so much, but man, like, come on, people. Like, everybody talks like us. We all have the same accent. Most of us still shop at the Ross on 103rd, especially on Tuesdays, because that's when the good shipment comes in.
Hey.
Like, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like to open up with that, and then I trickle into being a mother now. It's insane that I'm a
a different
mom.
experience.
It's such a different experience. It's so rewarding. It's
That's what's
so rewarding to be a mom right now. Like, I hope this feeling never leaves my heart. You know, it's awesome. It's.
Are your kids where they're still young, right?
I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Oh, okay. So you still haven't gone through that teenage phase. I hear that's when they're wilding out.
I can't wait.
You
I
can't
will
wait till them
bring
to
it.
wall out?
Oh my God. I've already given my daughter a taste of what her mom is. And she's just like, she knows. She just knows. I'll tell you what, the other day she sucked her teeth at me. And I went, what was that? She was like, nothing. And I go, no. Tell me what it is. She's like, I went like this. And I go, the next time you do that, I'm going to pull one of your teeth out. And she just looked at me, she goes, what? What did you say, Mommy? Why would you say that to me? And I go, don't ever do that to your mom. You understand me? Go upstairs.
Hey, how you feel about these 2020 kids though?
Like what?
Like are they born and raised in a different way? Like how can I put it?
Weak.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but like
Why? Why don't you want to say it's your
because-
podcast?
I know, but I don't like offending people's kids. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Like, I don't got no damn kids myself. So that
Right.
people be like, how you talking all this shit? You don't got no kids. Be like,
No.
yo.
I have kids, and I'm telling you right now, it is up to our generation to fix this.
I mean, I see it.
I see her friends, and I'm like, I hope you say that shit to me. I hope. And it's
I
not
wish a
and it's-
motherfucker would.
And it's not about like wanting to strike my child or smack
Yeah.
her up across the head. It's just like,
Yeah, you got it twisted if you think you fucking around with that shit around
do you
me.
remember when your mom used to give you a look?
What look, bro? I just got used to get tremenda chancletazo. That was not a look.
Maybe it was different for boys.
The
for
first
me,
look was un chancleta.
my mom would sit
That
at the
was
table,
first look.
and if I said something like, we'd be eating, and mom was like, ¿Cómo está la comida? And I go, She go, and I could hear the look.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, it's delicious, Mommy. Thank you so much, Mommy. Mommy, thank you so much for working so hard and all the hours that you do and working on Saturdays. And thank you. And she'd be like, and what else? And my mom, that was like the G shit for me.
Yeah.
I know you're like scared because it was not that I was scared that she was gonna smack me up across the head. It was just like I was just scared of her.
Yeah, having respect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like my grandmother, I remember like walking in through the house and, you know, my mom would be there, my abuela would be in la sala. God forbid you didn't go up to them and say good morning or bendición. Oh my gosh. Like, bendiciones. And even if it was forced, you had to do that shit. And I feel that I see it now where like these kids do not give a fuck.
Yeah,
they got
don't.
their
Headphones
thing
on. They're in their own world.
They're in their own world. It's so sad because that world is super lonely and fake.
Yeah, it is. It is very, very lonely in that world. I see how these kids now, like, yo, suicide is like a big problem with little kids and like young people. It's because they like all up in that world. You know what I'm saying? They're not interacting with real people and having real conversations and getting their feelings hurt in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to get your feelings hurt or like hurt somebody's feelings
On a comment
over the internet from somebody you don't even know. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, G. Back in the day, you have to tell me that to my face. And like, if you did it too many times, we throwing down. You know what I'm saying? I had to like stand up for myself in front of the people. You know what I'm saying?
You're so right about that. That's one of my jokes in my stand-up is, I know you guys are super sensitive and you guys get butthurt when someone leaves a dirty comment or a mean comment on your Instagram or your Facebook. Guess what? I made my entire career, people would physically pick up a hard line, a phone, dial 305-55. Try to get through
45
millions
minutes
of people just to fucking tell me I sucked.
Yeah. That's what's up, though.
They would not be able to survive that nowadays.
That's a dope-ass dedication, though. You know how much hate you got for that?
How much hate? Do you hate me so much? You literally, the phone lines, do you know Power 96 phone lines are constantly doing this?
Yeah.
People trying to always win tickets, trying to, I don't want to hear a Pitbull, I want to hear that, I want to give a shout out, blah, blah. And you waited through all that to tell me I fucking suck?
You suck. And
I literally, and sometimes they wait for you to say something and I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell me? Nah, I just want to tell you fucking suck. I fucking hate the way you sound. You sound like a chonga. Great. Anything else? No, that's it. Okay, goodbye.
That's awesome, dude. That's that level of dedication of hate is awesome. That's the next level.
It's commendable. It's
it is.
Absolutely like you get an award for being a dick.
Yes.
Congratulations. You're an asshole.
You put in hard work for your dickish ways.
Yes. If your friends ever called you an asshole, be like, yes.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. I got through the Power 96 phone lines.
Hey, but nowadays it's just like that quick comment that people are all crying and shit. I mean, that weak sauce, I don't know what to attribute it to outside of social media.
Yeah, no, it's social media. I mean, I'll get every once in a while, like it rarely happens. And I think because for the most part, you know, I feel like I'm liked, you know, whatever. But every once in a while I'll get some girl being like, man, fuck you, what you said about Beyonce, you think you're cute with that shit. And I'll write, and they don't expect you to write back, which is something I've learned. And it's fucking amazing. So you get these people saying this, right?
Yeah.
And I'll hear and I go, you're right. Beyonce is a queen, and nobody should ever make fun of her. What do I need to do to gain back your respect? Silence.
They don't know they don't know when a bunny gets picked on like that.
And then also, because I have a little bit of petty in me, I will wait 3 days and I'll hit her back.
No, damn, that's
write back
too.
And I'll write back. Still haven't thought of a way for me to make it up to you. Got it. Wink.
Damn, bro.
That's that Hialeah girl in me.
Yo, time out. Don't ever try Lucy Lopez, my G. 100%, dog. She might just hunt your ass down,
But
dog.
that's not like on a bad day. Like, I'm having a bad day. Usually, I'm not having a bad day.
She is from Hialeah, people, all right? She know the contract killers.
A few of them.
Hey! So, back to your, like, craziness on your show, right?
Yeah.
You talking to these people. You mixing in the music.
Yeah.
The music that's being mixed in is very much not like the programming music that gets mixed in throughout the day. Zog has some leeway with what he wants to play.
Yeah, Zog is the mix master of the radio station. Zog is the shit.
Okay, so he has basically like free reign to like play things that he likes.
Zog also has an incredible programming mind. He knows what's gonna work, what's not gonna work. Zog has like this brujo shit in him where he knows what's gonna tocar, what's not gonna tocar, what's gonna, pierce through their hearts and make them feel something. So people like him can get away with it very well. You know, the other day he literally did a disco mix on the radio, and I cannot tell you how crazy people fucking went for it. Yeah. And if anybody else, any other DJ in the world
attempted that,
be like, I'm gonna do it, be like, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. But when Zog says it, he was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it makes sense.
When you want to start? Yeah. You want to start now?
Shout out Zog.
Yeah. And then outside of that, we have the brilliant mind of Miho, who's really doing an amazing job programming our radio station right now, where, I get the whole like Power 96 sounds like Power 96 right now. Mm-hmm. And that has a lot to do with him.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. Sure. Like, so, but like it's thoroughly changing, right? Yeah. So it's dope. You get that vibe back again. Yeah. I remember a time when like...
So do I.
Power 96 was like this hometown beacon type thing. Sure. Where they were really putting on for like homegrown acts and that was the time like more or less when Pitbull came up and utilized you guys back and forth where he like gained prominence, right? Where he like became well known. Sure. That kind of fell off for a bit. Right. It became more of like a national act type of situation.
So what happens is that there's people who buy and sell companies, and we got bought by CBS, and the people in charge that were under the CBS thumb didn't want to listen to us.
Oh, okay.
And by us, I mean people like me and Zog and Evie and DJ Def. Mm-hmm. And we're like, no, stop. Nobody gives a fuck about Katy Perry. Turn that shit off, please. What the fuck? Yeah. No, stop it. Stop.
Like, that's not the station for it.
Right. So, once they were gone, and now we're under Entercom. Entercom is very big on original, local content. That's what drives us. And they listen to those who know a little bit more than the average bear when it comes to music. Yeah. And that's what's happening right now. Okay. Where we have a PD, a program director who's 30 years old and is looking at me and is going, this or this. And I'm like, we always have the perfect booty song. And by booty, I mean an ass song. Yeah. Like Back That Ass Up. Like Grind on Me. Like these are prominent ass songs that are always released during the summer that Power 96 prides itself on leading the way. Yeah. And when he comes to people like me and people like Evie and people like Zog, and we're like, yep, that shit is hotter. I don't know about that one. He listens. But his ear for music is just... it's fucking insane. Like what he's doing right now is huge, and he's allowing people like me to be me on air and not going like this to me, which I got a lot of from other directors who were like scared of my irreverence. I only had one other PD who was not scared of that irreverence, and that's Pio Farrow, and he's now the program director of Hot 97. So those are people who get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a reason why he's the PD at Hot 97. And which, for those who don't know, is a radio station in New York City, the biggest radio station in our nation, I believe, in the whole country, and they're it. And Miho's that guy who's like, if you really believe that this is going to do this noise, then go ahead with it. So we have someone at the helm of creativity who's not only gone, hey, you know what you're doing, come on in, let's do it together.
Yeah, it's a collaborative kind of situation.
Such a collaborative effort, such a creative family, and there's nobody second guessing. And if there are second guesses, because it does happen in a creative environment where you're like, we talk it through and we find a way to either move on from it or make it work, depending on the situation. And that goes for music, and that goes for everything else that we do there.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely notice the change. You
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
you could definitely notice like all the differences. It's cool that it is a collaborative effort and that you guys get to shine and instill your independent brands on the radio, but at the same time, the radio station itself is a representation of like your brands, you know? And like if somebody comes in and tarnishes that or tries to change it, not only is it changing your brand, you personal brand, it's also changing the brand of the station of why people tune in and things along that nature. You know what I'm saying? That's cool that you guys are getting it back to that point.
Yeah, it's been a very long road.
Yeah.
We continue to work on it. Even like for today to be here, I text you, I'm like, hey, I completely, not that I forgot it was a short week, but you know, for me to take a Monday, it's rare and very few. Like I interviewed Rick Ross like 6 months ago with 103 fever. Like I love my job. I love what I do. I love being a creative. I love writing. I love doing all that stuff. And when you're part of a team that feels that passionate about the product and knows that the product is Power 96 and not you, and there's no egos involved, it really works.
Yeah, it's golden, bro. It's hard to find a situation where so many creatives are egoless. You know what I'm saying? Because creatives tend to be very
Egocentric
and intrinsic. Yeah, very
it's
self-reflective.
It's scary too because you could see it. You see it. If you're a creative, you could see the ego in the room, and it's fascinating to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
I love it. And
you like it? Why?
Oh, I love it.
What's there to love about that?
You don't see it. You don't see the monster in the room.
I mean, I see the monster.
And you're
just like that shit is ridiculous.
So, it's like candy for me. I'm like,
because you feel like you control it.
Control that monster?
Not control, troll. To troll the monster.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
You're cut up. I see it in
yeah.
you. Your smile gives it away. You know him.
I know what you're saying.
You see him, and you're like, this is awesome. Who's gonna challenge this one?
Yeah.
And you're waiting, and then they say something, and you're like, tell us more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, you can turn that whole thing into like an interview.
Yeah.
And the whole room, all of a sudden, sees what you're seeing. I love that shit.
Yeah. It's both a gift and a curse sometimes. You gotta like stay away from the wrath of the ego sometimes, but at the same time, it's also cool to like challenge that wrath.
Do you corral your ego?
I try to have no ego.
Okay.
I try to see myself as just a regular dude doing regular shit, you know? Like, even people be like you started off giving me like all this praise at the beginning. That's hard for me to hear, you know? Because like, I just don't like feeding that side of me. I don't like considering that side of me even exists. I just like being like, yo, I'm regular schmegler, dude. Like, what's cool? I'm just from Dade County and things like that. Like, this is just a reflection of my environment. I'm a reflection of my environment. It's just not me.
We're cocky fuckers here in Miami, man.
We are? What?
It's
Why you think
worse.
we have so many motherfucking trucks out here with like 16 feet high trucks? What you need a 16-foot high truck for?
It's horrible. Nothing impresses us, man.
That's
Nothing.
just ridiculous.
Not Super Bowl was here. It's like, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, whatever.
Oh, we do that like every year.
It's like the Super Bowl.
Another one?
It's like, what? The Super Bowl hasn't been here forever. Oh, whatever. It was like here like yesterday, right?
Like 10 years ago? That's
No,
nothing,
you're
bro. I
thinking
did
of
that.
it like there was like a soccer tournament. There was?
There's
With
always.
whom?
We're too cool for everything.
It's absolutely insane.
I love that, though.
It's
I
the
love
fact.
that.
Nothing
I love that.
impresses us.
Yeah.
Nothing impresses us.
That's straight up Dade County, though. You got to, like, I don't even know. Like, it's so many.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely great.
It
People
definitely is
say
great.
that people from New York are super cocky and super this and super that. Nothing compares to someone who is born and bred here in the 305.
Yeah.
We have this arrogance about us that is just, it's comical.
Yeah.
It's fucking hysterical.
You know what's crazy? You spoke about ego. My ego boosts when I leave Dade County, but it's not like boost for me. My ego becomes like Dade County. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
I like, as soon as I get on the plane, it's like I'm wearing a Dade County jacket. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I gotta let everybody know I'm from Dade County, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Nothing you do or say could faze me. I'm from Dade County. You know
I am the most evilest person when I put on a Hialeah shirt.
What?
And oh my God. So, quick story. Go to New York
Yeah.
for like a weekend with my man. And we're like, oh, I'm going to New York. And most girls, they're like, they have an airplane outfit. Most girls, most Miami girls have like an airplane outfit, right? So my airplane outfit was my Hialeah shirt, these cute old jeans. I wear like these booties. I had like a leather jacket that I bought at Valsang for like $20. I was looking super cute with my little Scully with the 305 here, whatever. I was a complete representation, and everything that everyone talks shit about was me, and I wore it proudly.
Facts. Big facts.
Get off the airplane, walking, He was like a janitor or something. He was like walking around and he goes, "Hi, Leah." And I go, "What's up? What's up? We're here, 305, what's up?" And my husband's like, what the fuck are you doing?
What just happened to you?
Are you okay? What? Do you have a reggaeton album that I don't know about?
Yo.
So ghetto. And I ate it. I was eating it.
That's how it is, bro.
Con papa, like this.
And it feels so good.
So amazing.
It feels so
it's the
good.
Best. It's the fucking best.
Yes, it is. It's 100%. It feels so good, dude. That's like, that ego does blow up.
You call this an espresso?
Yeah, like, what is this, bro?
Mierda.
Nothing compares to, and then you start the whole comparison of, oh, this is nothing compared to Miami. Oh, this is nothing.
You guys call this a rooftop party?
Nah, this is nothing. You call this a strip club? Please, bro. They still got clothes on. What are you talking about?
None of them have C-section scars. What kind of shit is this?
That's straight up 305.
I haven't seen one visible, like, what's that thing? Like, when you get
La
cellulite scars.
The cellulite scars. Yo, that shit is quintessential Dade. Quintessential.
We're such assholes. I love it.
that's
It's
awesome.
fun. I don't, and then on top of that, nobody can take away that we're such a united community. We are so giving when those hurricanes hit,
when it matters most.
When it matters most, all of us, like, know your place.
Yeah, we come together.
Don't you, all of us get mad at the same things. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
It's not like, this and anything. We're good. Like,
and then other things don't phase us at all. Other things that are
like the coronavirus?
Big, yeah. Nobody's tripping about that.
Eso no viene para acá.
Everybody's, and you know we're an international city as fuck. Like, man, people travel here and nobody's worried
phased
about no corona, nothing.
Valentine's weekend, went out to downtown Miami and we're like, my husband and I were like in the car, whatever, getting mad at everybody who's cutting us off, hating everybody on those little mopeds. Oh, yes. I hate hating everyone.
In downtown.
We were driving behind a guy on a longboard and he's like,
being cool.
On his way to fucking Whole Foods or something.
Nice.
And I'm like,
get off the road.
Pull in. And he goes, it's pretty crazy. You don't see one person. If we were in New York or like some other part of the world, people would have masks, surgical masks, and gloves on. And I'm like, that shit ain't coming here. He goes, do you see the ships behind us? These people are riddled with coronavirus. And I'm like, that shit ain't coming here.
Well, I'm good with my green juice.
And we're convinced. We're convinced that it's not coming here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not coming here.
You
like,
see? The arrogance.
I'm not even bullshitting.
That's not Miami arrogance. I don't think it's coming here either.
I don't think that shit's coming here. Like, it can't come here.
Is that ignorance or arrogance?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like 50-50, you know? Maybe more arrogance than ignorance. But, I mean, it's instilled in you.
Yeah.
Since you're, like, super young.
Es true. Eso no viene aquí. Lávate las manos. Tómate un té de tilo para que tú veas, se te quita eso.
And
wow.
then you're just like unfazed. You're like, oh, whatever.
Wow. There's too many brujos here for that shit to happen.
Different things already popping. So what's popping with you off stage, off air? Do you have anything popping coming through? You know you're working on your bits and things like that?
I'm working on bits.
Okay.
I'm working on a couple of like scripts that I want to pitch very soon. And
like full movie scripts, short films,
television
film, production.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And I'm writing it and I'm meeting with a few people so they can help me develop it and figure it out. And I'm a dreamer and I'm a creative and every day I thank God that I have the job that I have because I feel that everybody has purpose here. God gives you purpose. My purpose is to make people laugh, make people forget about the bullshit for a little bit, you know? And I feel like every morning God gives me that opportunity and I don't want to let him down. I really feel that we all have a purpose in this game of life. And I feel that that's my purpose, is to write, to create characters, to, you know, bring a different perspective to the table on humor and writing and acting and all that. And I don't know.
And you want to take that to the small screen.
Yeah, I do.
That's what's up.
I want to do that. And I don't know. I don't have a set plan, but I know what I have. I know what I have to offer. I know I'm not just the girl that you guys hear on the radio every morning, but I do feel that I have a deber.
Okay.
To Miami.
Yeah.
I have ideas, and I know that through faith and hard work and determination, it's gonna happen.
And you've already written it out?
Yeah.
So can you like tease us with anything of like what more or less what it's like? Any synopsis?
It's a little bit
At least one of them.
I'll give you the one that I'm really excited about.
Okay.
And think kind of like a mockumentary style show.
All right.
Following the life of a celebrity.
Okay. A local celebrity?
A local celebrity.
All right.
And how she juggles what she does on and off air.
All right. That's what's up.
So it's a little, I guess,
Autobiographical?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I could totally see that, man, because like you like shine 305, you know what I'm saying? Like it seeps through your pores. And I would love to see like that on the small screen, something like that represents our culture, our community.
We need it. We need it because right now we're being pigeonholed into this whole Latin. I can't even pronounce
Latinx.
it. Latinx.
Yeah.
And it's sweet. It's cute. I get it. I understand it. There's respect a little bit. This guy hates it. You're not the only one, but I don't look like everybody that they're trying to pretend I look like, and I don't speak like everybody that they're trying to think I speak like, and I don't have the same costumbres. And when I can tell the difference between a Cuban actor and a Puerto Rican actor and a Nicaragüense and a Venezolano and a Colombiano, and guess what, buddy? You're miscasting everybody.
100.
Everybody just found out last year that John Leguizamo was Colombian, as much as he talked about it.
He's been said that like his whole life.
But like everybody else just figured it out. Do you understand me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Or some shit like
yes, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And I feel that there's like this stereotype that comes. I mean, I can only speak on behalf of, I'm a Cuban American, and I just feel like they think we need to either look like J-Lo or look like Eva Longoria or look like anybody or Eva Mendes. And if you don't look like these,
that's it.
That's it. You know?
Yeah, we're very, very, very like super niche in South Florida. And the thing is that we're so niche that within our niche, there's sub-niches. And we are all very much aware of all the sub-niches.
Yes.
You know? Like, I'm Colombian-American.
Yeah.
Grew up with mad Colombians. But my best friend's Nica. My other best friend's Cuban. My wife is half Cuban, Peruvian. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's crazy that I am very much aware, like, the cholos of the fucking Peruvian life. Mm-hmm. And then, like, the mates of the Nica life. And then, like, you know, the panas of the Puerto Rican life.
Right.
Nationwide, though, that is non-existent. They have no idea that exists. And there's a huge, like, problem that for that to come to like prominence because of the fact that Mexican Americans are such a huge part of Latin community nationwide that these production houses or like Univision and things like that, they don't want to spend any time outside of the Mexican community because their money comes back so much more in the Mexican community. The ROI for a Mexican show or something that's like geared towards that is so much bigger than the ROI for like a Puerto Rican type thing. Even though Latin people don't consume like that. They don't just eat Mexican. It's like you don't eat Mexican every day, fam. You know what I'm saying?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm having ramen noodles today for dinner.
Exactly. You want some ramen noodles sometimes. Sometimes you want a buñuelo.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want a croqueta. You know what I'm saying? So it's But these people who program, I mean, I had a conversation with a friend of mine who's at Univision, and this is basically what they told me. They're like, dude, it's like just Mexicans control the vast majority of the United States, and like,
And God bless. God bless. But if I can get my foot through the door, I don't think that it's just going to be a win for me. I think it's going to be a win for all of us.
Yes.
Because I'm not...
Anybody from Miami.
It's just going to be like, we made it!
Yes.
Come on!
It's a whole hurricane thing.
Even if they fucking cancel us the next day, we made it
We
to the
made it.
office.
Yes.
We made it to... We opened the door. We sat in there. We're like, we here now. Cafecito at 3:05. Let go. But I don't see it. I don't see it, and it's really important to me also as a mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my kid right now is obsessed on Disney Plus. There's a thing called it's The President, and it's about this
Kid President?
The Kid President.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you have children?
No, I have
you
children,
have
but I know what you're talking about.
And this show is being produced and written by Gina, yo no sé qué.
Not sure.
She's Puerto Rican.
There you lost me.
She's Puerto Rican. This whole entire family is Cuban American, living in Miami.
Okay.
But none of the kids look
Cuban.
like they're from Miami. I don't know how to
Or
explain
speak it.
No, but
That's
I'm
so
happy.
disrespectful.
But I'm happy because I'm able to show my kids, like, look, there's a Cuban mom on TV with her kids, and this is what the show's about, and this little girl ends up being the president of the United States of America. And I'm just like, but I want more.
Yeah.
I want more of it. I just want more. And I feel that like if I had just a shot, just one little shot.
Yeah. I mean, bro, if you need anything from me, I'll throw my hat in that ring right there. Cause I'm so about like Dade County and like repping and like putting on. I really would just want to see a representation of something that I could say that is really us.
Well, you're doing it. I mean, who else named their podcast Bola Podcast?
I mean, yeah. Thank you for that.
But
on the big screen, I want to see this shit. Like, I want to see a movie of like, people who's like, well, the one that won the Oscar very well did represent Moonlight.
Yeah, Liberty City
over town.
Finest
filmmaker
of all time.
Yeah.
And, we even have like, Billy Corbin ain't Cuban. He's not Hispanic, but Billy Corbin.
He picks up the flavors quick as fuck.
Well, it's Billy Corbin.
Yeah.
And he's amazing.
He knows what's popping.
And he knows everything from politics to sports to pop culture. He's like a trove of knowledge.
Yeah.
He's just like amazing. But, we need to see more of Miami in those positions, those spotlights.
Yeah. And really cast and really be like a South Florida thing. Like, if they ever made a movie about the whole Elion experience, like, that was crazy. That shit captivated South Florida like crazy for like...
It was insane.
For like 6 months, the whole Elion thing. That was a big-ass thing.
I lived in California for a year, which was like the worst thing of my life. I hated it so much. California is the worst. Sorry.
Right.
I don't give a shit. And I was speaking Spanish. This is going to sound horrible to the lady that was cleaning the hallways where I worked. I worked at Warner Brothers TV. And I walked by her. Mariela. Mariela, ¿cómo está? And, we're talking back and forth in Spanish. Ba, 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 ba. And this girl walks in. She goes, oh, my God, you speak Spanish? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, really? And she's like, are you Mexican? And I go, no, I'm Cuban. No joke. She goes, like Elion? And I said, rifle to the head and everything.
Like Elion.
Fucking.
That's it. That's the only thing they pretty much
I was just like.
That's what they associate.
Wild what they think about us out there. You guys have no
Gang.
idea. Step out of Miami and you will. It's wild, and they think and some people think our accents are cute. They're like, oh my God, that's so cute. And they're like, shut up.
Like, yeah.
I'll meet you at the Pines.
Yeah, for reals. So if are you down to collaborate with people and do stuff like that?
How so? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if you are willing, basically, are you willing to collaborate with anybody to create dope creative content or things like that? Writing wise, shooting wise, anything.
If it's right, if it falls in line with what I feel is fun, what I feel is entertaining, what I feel is something that is needing or missing from the landscape. Yeah.
For sure. And how could people like reach out to you who wanted to collab?
The best way to contact me is via Instagram. Like, I'm heavy on that and on my Twitter. I hate Facebook. I have Facebook on lock because whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan of Facebook. I like Instagram. I like the immediacy behind it. You can
Okay.
DM me there
Yeah.
at the Lucy Lopez. It's the same for
At the
Twitter.
Lucy Lopez.
Yeah.
And that's the same. You're on Twitter?
yeah, the same thing
At the Lucy Lopez. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lucy, for coming through. Thank you for spending an hour with us here on Que Hola and talking to us and chopping it up.
Are we
us
far
know.
from the Frita King?
Huh?
Are we far from Frita King?
Frita King is not that far. It's actually right down the street.
Okay.
That on Calle Ocho that way.
Just asking.
Yeah, like 15 minutes, not even 5 minutes. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking to us. You know,
great meeting
it
you.
was super awesome meeting you too. Like,
Thank you.
You're super down to earth. I confirm it.
Oh my God, do I get like a little stamp on the corner?
Yo, he's stamped. Officially real as fuck.
Officially real as fuck. Follow her on the gram.
Fishizi, follow her on the gram, yo, and follow her on her morning show, 6 to 10, Power 96. You know what it is. Been there for a minute. Till la próxima. You guys like the podcast? Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Send me a DM, any suggestions, anything like that. If you like it, share it with your friends. If you hate it, share it with your enemies, but just share this motherfucker, all right? Till la próxima.
Yeah. If I could say anything before we go,
Go ahead.
don't stop doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. The more of you that we get out there as a community, the more the masses will understand us.
Wow. That's a big statement right there. Thank you.
Oh, well.
Just made my day. Thank you.
Let go.
Hey, peace. I want to thank Lucy for coming onto the podcast and talking to us and sharing with us her story, her experience, all that cool stuff. You already know where to follow her, Lucy Lopez on IG, the Lucy Lopez on Twitter. If you got any suggestions or anything for me, you could DM me at Que Bola Podcast or at Phresh también. Holla at your boy. And please share, subscribe. Check out our other productions, Cooking with the Biscuit and Roach and the 305 Horoscopes with my boy Bass Funk Daddy and Notorious Nasty, all right? Hasta la próxima. Y'all know what it is. Holla at your boy. Peace.